ask, we don't know what they're talking about because we don't really have permission to do this. We don't ever have permission to do this down here, but we do it generally every January, and there's nobody around even complaining. But there's a likelihood that somebody will complain because it is quite noisy. But what we're doing is forging the union of marriage, this young couple here, and we're going to unleash a tremendous force. A tremendous force. I'll say that again. You'll be aware of that as soon as it goes boom. How many here have not seen this before? You're in for a treat, I'm telling you. Your life will never be the same. Well, that's what happened to me. My name's Wilkinson. I'm from Farmington, and I shoot anvils, and I come down here every January. This past January it was so cold we couldn't shoot anvils for fear they would break when they landed. It was so cold, those guys drinking beer was standing like this with the fire to their back, their beer would freeze. That's no kidding. It's cold. And I wasn't so worried about the force against the anvil with the explosive, but I've seen it come down and land on frozen gravel and seen an anvil break. So we ain't doing breaking anvils. But anyway, so we put the January shoot off until now. How's that? So we did it at the log yard. Anvil shooting's not new. It's been around since colonial American days, and they did it a whole lot for a whole lot of different reasons, primarily celebration. But they did it to make a loud noise mainly, not to see how high it could go. That was the thrill at the end of an all-day picnic. They contained black powder under the anvil and made it go boom real loud. There's a lot of different things that they've done for primarily entertainment, celebration, Independence Day, Christmas Day, any kind of holiday you can celebrate that. Wedding Day. I can't think of anything that... My daughter got married in October, and she got an anvil shoot at her wedding. When you care to give the best, you give them. Anyway, physically what's happening is the two anvils have a charge of black powder, which is a whole pound of black powder between them. And when we ignite it, it's going to want to separate those two masses. If you can go just a little bit, if this were in space or in a vacuum or in some way, whenever it separates them by that force, it's going to move them equally and opposite apart, distance and speed and everything. But we're trying to hold that bottom one still. It's sitting on some steel plates, and we're going to try to hold it still to throw one side higher or farther away. So I want it to go high and make a lot of noise both. That's what our goal is. So when I light it and back away, you'll see the fuse going, and it'll go inside the anvil where there's about that much it's inside the metal and you can't see it. So you'll even probably think it's going out. But about the time you think it ain't going to go, it's going to go. And it's real loud. But you'll kind of forget that because it's going to scare you. This is one that really excites your sensories. When you see it and it goes up in the air, there's a real tendency to think that it's coming toward you. So unless you hear me say run, you're going to be okay. It's going to land pretty close out there where it took off from. Jared did the loading and the aiming and everything, so he's taking the credit or the blame, wherever it lands.
Shear another horn off.
Yeah. But there's, if you're like me, the first time I saw it, it's like, whoa, there was too much information. I want to rewind it and see it again. There's other things I want to see. So I get about as big a kick of this, doing this as any of you guys do. Hope you enjoy it. There may be some little bitty ones here. You might want to protect your ears for not knowing what's going on. But loud boom, a lot of smoke, and that anvil will go like it weighs nothing. It weighs 120 pounds. And if you could see this on video and run it back and forward, it's mirroring its action. It's taking off real fast, and it's going up until gravity overtakes it, and then it's building speed until it hits the ground. So it's about opposite both ways. It can be a mirror image of what it's doing. Make sense? Now, why in the world would somebody want to shoot anvils? Any of you girls?
It's loud and it's
Because it's awesome.
Because you can. It's like shooting, launching refrigerators or cows or pianos or whatever. It's just not. It's just fun launching stuff that wasn't meant to be launched. And this particular anvil has flown down here in the gravel yard, I know, probably 10 years. It's scarred up a little bit, but it's hard to break an anvil unless we landed on the one that we're shooting from. But we're happy for you, we're proud for you, and this is probably the coolest wedding and reception that you could have out here. This is to you guys.
Thanks,